I grabbed waters because I didn't know what anybody was drinking. So.
Oh, you got your lunch now.
I had intended to go out.
Drink anything.
I know.
Too early.
Okay.
So this is Eddie Rickenbacker, according to Mike. And this gentleman over here flew with him.
Flew him.
Yeah.
Flew him.
Flew him.
This you were.
I'm Bob.
Bob, it's nice to meet you.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Well, now, Bob, so Mike is a Navy pilot. What were you?
I was naval intelligence, so I can't tell you what I did.
You can't. It was smart though. If it was intelligence, right?
I take a lot of flack for that intelligence.
But you were a pilot.
Yeah. I learned when I got out.
Oh, you learned when you got out. Wow.
I'm a late bloomer.
Folks, just so you know, I'm here with my buddy Mike, who I used to play guitar with. We're been shooting a 360 video here. So this is kind of a neat thing. This is so Hickory has an aviation museum, which I never knew about. How long has this thing been here?
It's a gem.
30 years.
30 years.
And it's grown since, but it's a gem.
And I can see there's just a ton of aircraft out there. And y'all have recently got some grant or something to expand this place.
Yep, I'll show you outside. It's on the other side of the runway. On the other side.
Well, Mike, I don't want to keep you in pizza. I might just walk around and look at some stuff while you guys are talking. It's cool to meet these gentlemen here. So that's Bob.
Bob,
Walt,
Don,
and Walt was a tanker guy. He said.
Way back when.
And your name again was Don. Don, were you a flyer or?
No, I was in the Air Force, but I was in radar.
I see. And then this gentleman over here.
Army Intelligence.
Military intelligence.
Really?
Yes.
So intelligent people fly aircraft.
I put 2 airlines in bankruptcy also.
Did you really? Wow. So who did you work for when you did that?
Eastern and United.
So were you like a CEO, CFO, some kind of something like
that's
that?
him.
What were you?
Pilot.
A pilot, okay. So I'm totally out of my league here. Look at the Wright brothers.
They got great displays here.
These are to right and road. That's a flying radio control model. That's a radio control model up there.
Oh, listen up here too.
And that 4-engine big one there, the B-17, right in front of it's 4-engine.
B-17.
Good grief.
Also.
And you said that this gentleman over here flew this guy here. This one here.
Constellation. He flew out in the airline.
Wow.
Back when they flew those in the airline.
30 years this place has been here. Yeah. Unreal. Mike, when did you go into the Navy? I mean, what?
1984.
1984, and you got out when?
2014. 10 years ago.
So 30 years.
30 years. 30 years in a month, actually.
Yes, go down to the end.
Did you, because your dad was kind of a legend or something, is that how you kind of got into the, or how'd you get into flying?
Both my brother and I got into it because my dad flew in the Air Force, and we were always fascinated. We loved airplanes.
So there's this legendary photo of his dad.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, it's online. You can find it. You can find it on Google. What's your dad's name again?
Vic.
Vic Viscara. Vic Viscara. Mike Viscara. Mike, did you retire a captain or a
Navy captain? Yep.
Navy captain? And your brother was a pilot too.
He's a pilot. He retired at 21 years. He was a Navy commander. He retired a little earlier.
Commander higher than a captain.
One below, but he didn't stay 30. So he got out at 21 or so. My dad retired as a Air Force colonel, which is the same as a captain.
Yeah. Man, Mike, you go get you some more pizza if you need to, brother. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just gonna look around. So this is going to be. I've been looking forward to this, folks. If you've not seen the 360 video before, just enjoy. It's kind of cool to be able to turn the camera every single direction. You can look up at the sky up here and see stuff. You can look down at the floor if you want to. I'm just going to kind of slowly move through here, let Mike eat his lunch. So here's a carrier, USS Hornet. You can look down and see that probably. So this place has received a grant recently that will allow them to put this in a much bigger, better building. So we're in the old terminal at Hickory Airport, Hickory, North Carolina. And Mike's going to take us out and show us the aircraft. A bass player from a band, Grandma's Medicine. I'm out of the band now, but Mike's still playing with it. But Jim Graziano is going to come and walk with us, and it's going to be really cool to see all this stuff from an actual Top Gun pilot. Mike was Top Gun guy, flew the Tomcats. So all kinds of memorabilia. That's a cool little model down there below. Look at that.
His one metric is off the chart. The believability, you know, he's got that. Companies will come in and ask for advertise their wares on his channel because he's so believable. So if he says this is good, people really buy it.
You talk about my YouTube thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I make little reviews of guitar stuff. Mike's way better than me, but I can talk about it better than Mike. This place is awesome.
Yeah, it was cranking when I was leaving.
I like this. So Jim is supposed to join us here in a little bit.
And if you're on a timeline, we can move on without him. He said he'd be here at 1.
So it's school me here. So
Okay,
Kelly
George
Walt.
Preddy was like the sixth highest scoring ace in World War II.
Really, 26.
Okay, 26.8. He's from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Really?
George was unfortunately killed by friendly anti-aircraft fire right at the end of the Battle of the Bulge.
Wow.
It was bad weather for most of it, and right at the end it cleared up and they came over and did a lot of good stuff. Well, the anti-aircraft guys got him by mistake.
Wow. So
Killed
this is
him,
here.
but he
Wow.
still scored that much even though he was killed then.
20
All this is stuff from his family they've loaned us.
26.83 means that it's somebody else
That's how
got
many
some,
kills
got some
he got.
other, the .83 comes from
Multiple people shot at a
I see.
plane somewhere, yeah. But anyhow, now he was flying P-51s at the time. What people don't know, also his younger brother, William Preddy, was also flying P-51s. He would, not long after that, he was killed over Czechoslovakia. But what's interesting, somehow we've got the seat from Bill Preddy's P-51.
That is
He was
crazy.
killed in.
You know,
Isn't that wild?
that is crazy. Look at that. Now I went on a tour in like Savannah, Georgia or something one time, and they said that they used to stuff the seats of the aircraft with Spanish moss. Did you know that? That it was some kind of would wick away the moisture or something?
No, what Spanish moss is, it's just a fungus that grows. I'm from low country South Carolina.
So I know it. You know.
It's nothing but a fungus that grows on a tree. We give it to Yankees and tell them to take it home. We got full of red bugs. Anyway, basically, this is what a seat looked like in a World War II plane.
Oh, yeah.
The pilots used a seat pack parachute.
Yeah.
Like, see this picture right here?
Yep.
The parachute is
It's
sitting in the
down,
seat
yeah.
and it
Wow.
fastens onto that. So the parachute was their seat, was very, very uncomfortable. That's what a World War II plane seat looks like.
Good grief.
So we thought it was interesting though. That's what was in this. That
Wow.
could have been what killed him there. I don't know.
Oh my
but,
gosh, that hole in the back of the seat.
Isn't that wild though?
That is
Now
crazy.
compare that to a seat out of an F-4 Phantom, which is a Vietnam era.
Yeah.
And later jet we got out here.
Look at this.
This is an ejection seat from an F-4 Phantom. But see, you've got real seat cushions in this one.
Yeah.
Of course, if you want to get out of this jet, you pull these down or pull that up, and this whole seat comes out.
Just
Shoots up
ejects.
see the picture on the wall there?
Yeah.
That's kind of depicts what it looks like when a pilot's ejecting from the plane.
That is insane.
It saves their life usually, but they usually have back problems afterwards because that's a rocket engine shooting them out.
Are there a lot of former flyers here in this area?
yeah.
Wonder why. I wonder why you ended up.
We have got a A6 Intruder out here, which is a Vietnam era subsonic attack jet, very famous one. And one of our members lives over in Marion, and he's a Navy flyer, and he's looking at the number, looked familiar, serial number. He went home and checked his logbook.
It was his.
He flew that plane in 77 and 78 off the USS Midway.
That is insane.
Isn't that wild?
That is very cool.
We've got another member here who's a retired Navy. His logbook, he says, shows he crewed on that plane before. He crewed on that Sikorsky helicopter before. And he has flown a T-34 training plane out there before.
Well,
Is that wild?
okay, so naturally, all these aircraft had to be flown in here, right? Were they shipped in pieces or something?
Some of them were trucked in, a lot of them were flown in.
Wow. So a lot to see here. Now, okay, so
That P-3 was flown in, that Mohawk was flown in, the Sikorsky was flown in, A6 was flown in, the EA-6B with the black tail it was flown in. And
I see they've got a chopped off
no,
cockpit up there.
that's an FA-18 cockpit, yes.
Wow.
We have an intact FA-18 across the way here. The Navy transition from FA-18 Hornets to the Super Hornet, which looks just like it from a distance, but about 30% bigger, faster, meaner, more capable. And the Blue Angels were flying those, and they transitioned in 2020 to the Super Hornet. And when they did, basically the Navy gave a loan, number one, the 4-diamond flying number 1 plane to the Uwe Hazy Museum up in Manassas, Virginia, Dulles, and number 5 solo, we have it here.
Wow.
And the pilot that delivered it, a gentleman named Frank Weiser, he was a Blue Angel pilot at the time. He delivered both of them from Pensacola, but he did all the low-level flying for Top Gun Maverick movie.
Wow.
And he's now a member of our museum.
Walt, do we give a donation here? Or
If you'd like to, we operate totally on donations.
Do y'all have? Do y'all take credit cards?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll do anything you like.
Brother, thank you.
We're interdenominational. We take money.
Interdenominational. That's awesome.
We get people dropping stuff by all the time. We've got, gosh knows how many storage places, parts of warehouses and stuff stored away now.
So when they have the new museum, what's the story on that?
Well, it's a joint venture with Catawba County Community College, and I'm not.
So my wife works at CDCC, so I didn't
she
realize
would probably know a lot more, but it's a real technology center they're building there, and I'm not sure what all's going to be in there, but a lot of high technology stuff. Hopefully some A&P stuff for aircraft mechanics, hopefully. And then we'll get part of it also. So we'll be able to move all these planes.
They're going to build a new building here or something?
Yeah, right down the end of the runway.
It'll be a hangar that the stuff goes in?
It'll be a huge, yeah.
Wow.
It'll be a big hangar, then they'll have.
When is this supposed to happen?
They're working on it now. You're talking a year and a half.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So I got to come back up here when that starts to happen.
It'll be very good though when it happens. So yeah, we got a lot more stuff to do. We got planes over in the hangar across the way. We don't have room to put out.
This is going to end up being one of the best aviation museums in the South.
We have more Navy planes on display and loaned from the Navy than any other museum in the United States.
Really?
Other than a military museum like Pensacola or the Air Force Museum or something.
That is crazy. Well, this is going to be fun.
The guys that started this 30 years ago, 2 brothers, Kyle and Craig Kirby, and they've done a wonderful job.
We're in the old terminal, right? The new one's across the way over there, the brick one, right?
And as soon as they kick us out of here, they're probably bringing in another commuter airline into here. I used before I don't Spirit or somebody like that probably.
Okay, so is Hickory Airport sort of like a connector airport?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I used to
fly. So if you fly from here to Atlanta,
when I was working regularly, I'd fly basically just to Charlotte.
Yeah.
And it's a 20-minute flight to Charlotte, and that when I was traveling.
Is there a straight flight to Nashville from here?
Nope.
No,
but
it'd be cool.
I was in Nashville every other week for about 6 years, and
well, I'm a musician. It'd be cool to once in a while fly to Nashville.
It was great though. I could fly cheaper out of here.
Really?
Hop on a regular plane, be in Nashville, and then I could drive down to Charlotte and catch a regular plane. So
well, then there you go.
Great deal.
Man,
so,
I need to check into that.
Well, we don't have it now, but the Hickory Hop runs a shuttle service to the Charlotte Airport now.
I got you. Okay.
We have a lot of neat stuff that people bring by all the time.
So this, unreal. This engine here. General Electric.
It's a copy of one of the very first jet engines. Frank Whittle was a RAF English guy at the first Whittle jet engine, and basically that's a copy of it GE built. There's only about 4 or 5 of those in existence. Later, I know I saw one up at Uwe Hazy Museum up in Dulles Airport, and these went in basically like that. The bottom plane there, the P-59 Air Comet. That was our first jet plane we had. It was just pure research because it was a dog.
Well, I can see my other buddy Jim. Oh, look at this. That's what's coming.
That's what's coming.
That is
kinda
unreal,
sorta.
man.
Kinda sorta.
That is
A subject to change
right,
it.
brother.
They've already changed it
Crazy
once.
cool. Y'all look at that on that phone. Isn't that something? All right. Jim, good to see you, brother. So we're going to do a tour with the Scar. This car.